Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, how are you? My name is Vanessa and I like to talk about books. What are we thinking about my jumper today? I've got a fun story to tell you about this jumper. I won a Christmas jumper competition that I didn't enter. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're doing part 2 of Sapphic novels that are coming out in 2021 that I have my eye on. If you want to see part 1, I will link it in the description below, or if I remember, I'll put it up here somewhere. It is a video that I really love and it means a lot to me. Sapphic novels aren't something that were very popular when I was growing up as a teenager. They were very hard to find, and I think the choice nowadays that are coming out is really helpful for Sapphic girls, even though that is my most hated video of all time. I wonder why. Today I have 8 books to share with you. I had a few more on my last video, but the 8 I've picked now sound really good, and I'm looking forward to purchasing and pre-ordering them all. They're a mix of genres. Some of them are young adult, new adult, adult. There's just something for everyone, I think, in this list. If you like any of these books, it would really help to pre-order them so that we're telling the publishers that there is a demand for Sapphic novels. I am using my laptop for this and I'm a little bit blind, so sorry if I sort of like start to fade off camera. I looked into a bright light a couple of hours ago and I've not been the same since. Not something that I would recommend. Anyway, the first one, I'm going to get the most popular out of the way. This one I've seen a lot about on YouTube. A lot of people are raving about it, and it comes out on the 6th of May. The cover is beautiful. It's One Last Stop. The genres against this tag are new adult, contemporary, LGBT romance. This is by the author of Red, White and Royal Blue, which took the Booktube community by storm this year. It describes itself as a romantic comedy putting a queer twist on Kate and Leopold. I have no idea what that means. Should I? A 23-year-old realises her subway crush is displaced from 1970s Brooklyn and she must do everything in her power to help her and try not to fall in love with the girl lost in time before it's too late. So there does seem to be a little bit of science fiction in this as well. Seemingly everybody who's had an arc of this book has really enjoyed it. It's just flooded with 5-star reviews. There's a bisexual main character, a punk lesbian, and the side characters. There's black, there's trans, there's Puerto Rican, pansexuals. I haven't read Red, White and Royal Blue yet, but this one seems to be more my kind of thing, so I'm definitely going to get this one when it comes out. Next is Rise to the Sun, which is by the same author as You Should See Me in a Crown, which came out this year. Again, that book, there was a lot of gush about it. This one as well. It's only got 6 ratings, so ARCs mustn't be out for this one yet, but this one isn't out until the 6th of July. And it's about 2 girls who meet at a 3-day music festival. This is tagged as young adult contemporary romance, but also music as well. So music must mean a lot to these characters and what brings them together. Something bad happens at the festival and these 2 girls find that they are relying on each other. I really enjoy books that have an overall music theme because I love music just as much as I love books, even though the thought of going to a music festival just fills me with social anxiety. But I will definitely be picking up this book as well. Next is a book with its release which is a little bit too far away. This one is the 3rd of August, but it's got a cover already and it's by Victoria Lee. This is described as being for fans of The Wilder Girls and Ninth House, and this is A Lesson in Vengeance. This seems like a dark academia book. It's about 2 girls that are at a boarding school haunted by its history of witchcraft, and they dig dangerously close to digging up the past. The author essentially describes their book as a gothic lesbian murder book. I feel like I don't need to say much more than that. That's definitely something that I've not read before, so it's coming out in August, which makes it seem like it's going to be a perfect Halloween read as well. How is it getting dark? It's only 2:15. I'm so sorry for the lighting. I really need to invest in a ring light. Next we have Ace of Spades, which is a debut novel coming out on the 10th of July. This book is at its heart about institutionalized racism, and we have 2 students that are at an elite white dominated school. It is described as a thriller, and malicious gossip starts to be getting spread about our 2 main characters. ARCs aren't yet out for this book. Some people seem to have early draft copies and they say that this book is incredible. Next up is another debut novel, and that is She Who Became the Sun, which is an adult historical fantasy novel that's described as Mulan meets the Song of Achilles. This is a war novel set in alternative China. I have just read another book set in alternative China which I really loved, but this has the Sapphic element to it, so I'm looking forward to this one as well. This one has a very detailed plot summary. In a famine-stricken village on a dusty yellow plain, 2 children are given 2 fates, a boy greatness, a girl nothingness. In 1934, China lies under harsh Mongol rule. For the starving peasants of the Central Plains, greatness is something found only in stories. When the Zhu's family's 8th born son, Zhu Chongba, is given a fate of greatness. Everyone is mystified as to how it will come to pass. The fate of nothingness received by the family's clever and capable second daughter, on the other hand, is only as expected. When a bandit attack orphans the two children, though, it's Zhu Chongba who succumbs to despair and dies. Desperate to escape her own fate at death, the girl uses her brother's identity to enter a monastery as a young male novice. There, propelled by her burning desire to survive, Zhu learns she is capable of doing whatever it takes, no matter how callous, to stay hidden from her fate. After her sanctuary is destroyed from supporting the rebellion against Mongol rule, she takes the chance to claim another future altogether, her brother's abandoned greatness. I liking the sound of this one. Next is one that totally blew my mind when I read the description, and that's The Chosen and the Beautiful. This is by the same author of Empress of Salt and Fortune, which I believe came out this year. Also, haven't read it, but it's on my radar. This is a Sapphic female retelling of The Great Gatsby. Or at least that's how the advanced readers interpret this novel. The main character is a queer adopted Asian, and she's a socialite in 1920s America. It's the Jazz Age, but as we know, the glittery facade of the Jazz Age in America is essentially what it is, a facade for some people. So I think this sounds really good. This comes out on the 1st of June and I will definitely be picking it up. It's only 272 pages though. I cry. Next we have the Jasmine Throne, which is book 1 in a new series by the author of Empire of Sand. This is a queer, Indian-inspired young adult fantasy novel. It has an enemies to lovers trope, which is probably my favourite trope of all time. And it's about a captive princess and a maidservant in possession of forbidden magic who become unlikely allies on a dark journey to save their empire from the princess's traitor brother. This sounds good. This comes out on the 10th of June. June seems to be an absolutely amazing month for publishing next year. A lot of the books that I spoke about in my previous video also came out in June, so I'm going to start saving now for then. And last but certainly not least, with one of the most beautiful covers, so exciting, is Gearbreakers. I'm not sure if this is a debut novel. I can't see much information about the author. This is a young adult cyberpunk LGBT adventure. This comes out on the 29th of June and it's at 416 pages. Very exciting. There's enemies to lovers, leather jackets, renegade girls, mechas, robots. This sounds like a lot of fun. It's definitely an original concept. It's something that I haven't read before. Cyberpunk is something that is very few and far between, especially in young adults and especially a queer one. So that is it from me today. Please let me know in the comments which one of these books you will be picking up next year. Which one are you most excited by? Again, apologies for the terrible lighting. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. I don't know how people in Norway live. But thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!